Inside this refrigerated train car, a gruesome sight. The bodies of Russian soldiers packed and stacked for storage. Look, this is looted. Every Russian soldier who is stored here as a dead body has committed a crime against Ukraine, he says. Storing the bodies of the enemy aligns with the rules of war set out by the Geneva Convention, he says. After the end of the active phase of combat, the parties must exchange the bodies of dead military. But they have to try to identify the dead men first. This is where the Ministry of Digital Transformation comes in. We have identified about 300 cases, he says. They do it by using a myriad of techniques, but the most effective has been facial recognition technology. They upload a picture of a face. The technology scrubs all the social networks. It's really fast. Once they have a match, they go one step further. We send messages to their friends and relatives. These are often gruesome photos of dead soldiers. Why do you send them to the families in Russia? There are two goals. One is to show the Russians there's a real war going on here, to fight against the Russian propaganda, to show them they're not as strong as they're shown on TV and Russians really are dying here. The second goal is to give them an opportunity to pick up the bodies in Ukraine. They do get responses from Russian families. They're responding with basically saying, you will be killed, I will come and I will also take part in this war. 80% of the family's answers are, we'll come to Ukraine ourselves and kill you, and you deserve what's happening to you. What about that 20%? Some of them say they're grateful and they know about the situation, and some would like to come and pick up the body. The technology is not just being used on the dead, it is also being used to identify Russian soldiers who are alive, some of whom are being accused of war crimes. We have established the identity of one military man. We have a lot of materials, irrefutable evidence, this prosecutor says. This is footage of the Russian military man he's talking about. He says he was caught on video in Belarus trying to sell items he had looted from Ukrainian homes. But his alleged crimes go far beyond that. The soldier is accused of taking part in the execution of 4 Ukrainian men with their hands bound behind their backs. CNN obtained new video of the scene just before shots were fired. You can see what appears to be soldiers standing around and a man on his knees on the ground to the right of them. Prosecutors say the soldier was first identified by the technology and then by a Ukrainian citizen who said the soldier tortured him after entering his home. We showed these photos to the witnesses and victims. They identified the specific person who was among other Russian military personnel who killed 4 people in this particular place, the prosecutor said. The end result of all their investigations, they hope, will be a full record of what happened in Ukraine and the proof they need to prosecute those who committed crimes against its people.
Sir, did any of the Ukrainian officials you spoke with express guilt or concern about sending graphic photos of dead sons and fathers back to the soldiers and families in Russia?
I'm glad you asked me that question because I did ask that question to the head of the ministry that's been sending these photos. And the response was pretty stark. The response was no. He said, basically, look, they came here to fight with us. They came here to kill us. They made their choice, and it is our duty to try and figure out who they are. And this is one of the ways to do that. But they are using this as a two-pronged approach. One, to try and identify these men and to try and alert the families about what happened to their loved ones and give them a chance if they want to bury them at a later date when the war is over. And 2, they're trying to use it to fight against propaganda and disinformation. And they are using that two-pronged approach with this for every single person that they identify, Anderson.
Do they have any concern that the photos may galvanize people in Russia further against Ukraine?
Look, they're hearing that. He said 80% of the time, the people that they talk to are angry. They say things like, we're going to come over and kill you ourselves, and we're happy this is happening to you, and my son or father or husband is a hero. And so there's certainly that response from Russia. But from their perspective here in Ukraine, this is what they have to do to try to identify the bodies, and this is just one more prong to their approach.